Fire away.
Obviously, a lot of the stuff that you would not want to go wrong between turnovers, second chance, defense in general, so wrong. Where did you kind of just need to start to go sideways?
In the first half, the offensive rebounding was the biggest problem. Untimely turnovers were a problem as well. But 13 turnovers doesn't look that bad on paper. But they only had 9, and the 17 offensive rebounds for the game. You know, when Peyton Pritchard goes in there and gets 3 offensive rebounds in a row, and then, you know, beasts it up between 2 of our guys, I mean, that's not good. And so, you know, we're going to have to be obviously a lot better just with everything on Sunday.
So obviously, you talked about just how difficult of a back-to-back is. It can't really be a more difficult back-to-back than this. But I mean, how tough is it to add? You know, you've talked a lot about, you used the term ecosystem in terms of having your team together, and certainly it seemed like you figured out one that worked in the previous couple of weeks. How hard is that to kind of reconstruct that on the fly when you are out with the guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's to answer that question, it would you know, look. This is how it's been all year. I mean, when we're without a couple of guys, like if we're without Obi and Nembhard, I mean, that's 2 of our key guys. Other guys get an opportunity to step up, you know. So, you know, I thought Walker did some really good things in the second half. You know, I'd like to see him play with that kind of intensity and force all the time. He did some really impressive things. You know, driving the ball, shooting the ball, rebounding defensively. I mean, they're trying to get Brown 50 points, and he manned up and guarded the heck out of him for 2 or 3 possessions in a row, and that was great to see. But it's got to be an all the time thing, you know. So, but look, it's you know, a tough situation coming in here back to back and all that kind of stuff. But this is the NBA schedule; it's on the schedule, so that's what we got to do.
What I mean, you obviously mentioned the turnovers, the offensive rebounding was in terms of just kind of first shot defense. I mean, just where did you kind of see breakdowns, especially?
There were so many problems out there, and look, they caused major problems, you know, with their star players and their shooting ability, and you know, they got a lot of underrated guys over there. I mean, White is, you know, the guy's a star player, you know. Horford, same thing, and they don't even have Holiday and Porzingis out there. So, and look, Pritchard's right up there for 6th man, you know. So I mean, they got tons of weapons, obviously. And look, we got to look at the film, and we're going to have to do better. Simple as that.
Talking about Pritchard with his offensive rebounding, he's been kind of sneaking up on people with his physicality this year. What are you seeing from him that's different than the past?
He goes hard. You know, it's simple. He goes hard. He's an underrated player. Not to them, not to this fan base, I don't think. But he's a real key, and when he came into the game, you know, there was an elevated level that they went to. So, you know, we're gonna have to be prepared to do a lot of things better on Sunday.
You were talking about consistency. A big strength for you guys has been your persistence of tempo. It's not just like fast breaking. It's like after a make, you get out and you run right away, and you're constantly moving. What is difficult for you guys right now about having that kind of level of consistency and like the physicality and the basic?
Yeah, I mean, you know, a personnel situation isn't perfect. That's one thing. But again, this is not about excuses about stuff like that. We just got to play better. You know, we got to get it in faster. We got to run faster. We got to create more problems for them. We didn't create enough problems for them tonight, and so that's got to be one of many things we got to do better on Sunday.
Real quick, Thomas Bryant. Obviously, numbers aren't a big thing in a game like this, but you know, 12 and 7. Also, I think he had that one block at the end of the third where he kind of chased him down.
Well, that play at the end of the third quarter, I mean, that's a big time winning play. You know, they ran a free throw play and released the big guy, and you know, Thomas ran him down and made a great block on it. And so, look, we need a lot of winning plays on Sunday, a lot of them. And you know, they're not all going to be heroic plays. We're just going to have to do a lot of the basic things much better.